Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Proverbs with Paul in the afternoon. And at this moment in time, it is rather sunny, but it might rain in a minute. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 18. The cast lot puts an end to quarrels and decides between the mighty ones. The cast lot. Solomon is talking about who has the final say. In an argument, there are lots of people who refuse to stop talking. And so the argument continues and escalates and often becomes violent as a result of an unwillingness to surrender. So the arguments continue because people won't stop talking. But the reality is, two people's opinions can be just as valid. But in the end, it's the one who casts the last lot is the deciding factor. And who casts the last lot? Well, that whole concept is really asking the question, who has the last word in the debates that go on in your life? The things that you consider and reflect on with other people. Who has the final word? Because that person is ultimately the person in charge of you. And as a Christian, we have surrendered our best and given it to God, primarily because our best still got us into trouble. Not about our worst, our best got us into trouble. Our opinion, our perspective, our idea, our feelings, our thoughts, our emotions, it's not the final lot. It's not the casting of the final lot. It's not the very end of who has the final word. If God in you doesn't have the final word with regards to any encounter that you face in life, then you will continue in your old nature operating out of you, the person in charge of you. And that you person who lives in you is called your soul, your mind, emotions, and will. Your soul has driven your life up to this point. But when you become a Christian, God took charge, or at least that's what's supposed to happen. Of course, the reality is God never makes us do anything. He only ever invites us. And if we don't yield to the invitation, then we take up, as it were, the baton, and we are, as it were, the last word on the moment. But until we learn to surrender and let God have the last word, things won't change. If you want a different life, then you have to let God be in charge of who you are, not by force, but by surrender. Thank you for joining me. Be blessed, have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.